Operation Sunshine. The cold glow of a hidden experiment. Beneath the shining promise of post-war progress, a shadow crept silently through the 1950s, one that glowed with atomic deceit. The world had just witnessed the dawn of the nuclear age. The United States, locked in a Cold War arms race with the Soviet Union, detonated bomb after bomb, testing the reach of their new power. But radiation doesn't respect borders. And as fallout drifted across oceans, an unspoken question haunted the minds of scientists and generals alike. What is this doing to the human body? That question would birth one of the darkest scientific undertakings of the 20th century, Operation Sunshine. The name itself sounded almost innocent, even hopeful. But behind its radiant facade lay a morbid mission: to secretly collect and study human bones, especially from infants and young children, to measure how much radioactive material had seeped into human tissue after years of nuclear tests. It began quietly in the early 1950s. Without public knowledge, U.S. scientists, under the direction of the Atomic Energy Commission, sought samples from hospitals and morgues around the world. They called them specimens, but these weren't lab-grown samples or anonymous data points. They were real people, babies, teenagers, sometimes entire skeletons. Parents were never asked for permission. They were told their children's remains were being used for medical research. In truth, the government was dissecting the fallout of its own ambition, literally. Over 2,500 samples were taken from across the globe, the US, the UK, Australia, and beyond. The scientists measured the levels of strontium-90, a radioactive isotope that lodges in bones mimicking calcium. It was a silent invader, accumulating in teeth, marrow, and the fragile bodies of the youngest. What they found was alarming. Nuclear fallout had penetrated nearly every layer of life on Earth. Cow's milk carried radiation, so did wheat, and so did people. But rather than halting nuclear testing immediately, the findings were buried under layers of classification. The project continued in secrecy, operating for more than a decade, disguised as routine scientific study. Even the word sunshine was chosen deliberately, a linguistic veil meant to make it sound safe, even beneficial. It wasn't until the 1990s that the full scope of Operation Sunshine was revealed, when declassified documents exposed how far the U.S. government had gone in the name of national security and scientific progress. Families discovered their loved ones had been exhumed, dissected, and cataloged like lab specimens, all without a whisper of consent. When the truth came out, outrage spread across continents. British and Australian parents demanded answers. American citizens questioned the very institutions they had trusted to protect them. How could a government sworn to safeguard its people secretly harvest their dead, and their children, for data? Operation Sunshine revealed more than just radioactive bones. It exposed the moral decay at the core of unchecked power. It showed how, in the pursuit of dominance, even human dignity could become collateral damage. By the 1960s, public pressure and international concern over fallout led to the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty of 1963, which prohibited above-ground nuclear tests. The science gathered through Operation Sunshine did help prove the dangers of atmospheric radiation, but the cost was human, intimate, and irreparable. In the end, Operation Sunshine wasn't just about measuring radiation in bones. It was about measuring the darkness in ambition. It asked a question humanity still wrestles with: what price are we willing to pay for progress? The world learned that the glow of atomic light could also cast the longest shadows. And within those shadows, the truth of Operation Sunshine remains a haunting reminder that not all progress is born from enlightenment. Some of it is built on the bones of the innocent.